another week of virtual Route 56. We hope you had a great Easter.
Yeah, how many of you, and show me your hands, raise your hand, how many of you actually watched the Easter Jam last week during Easter? I know me and my family, we did it. Briar
Watched it.
was probably not as in tune as he should have been, but he's 9 months. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Cut him some slack.
Yeah, we'll cut him some slack. But I hope you guys watched that, enjoyed that. Mine and Madison's Pete War in the microwave tied. It literally at the same time hit each other. So she might say something different, but that's the truth. It was a tie. It was a tie. So how was your Pete War with your family? And then how was your socked basketball? Did anybody win? Did anybody in your family win from Route 56? Or did you let your broadcast siblings win? I don't know. So, well, welcome to Route 56 again. We're excited that you are here. How's your spring break going? I know that you probably get maybe a little bit of a break from school, and it is strange. I know some of you probably have plans to go to the mountains or the beach, but instead, you're at home.
Woo!
But because you're home, you get to see this, and so that's exciting, and we're excited that you are tuning in. Mary, you want to start the way we always start?
I get to lead a game. We'll do a game together.
Okay, we'll do a game together.
We'll share.
Yes.
Yes, we can do that.
All right. So,
all right,
everybody stand up. You know, this is a very simple game. I need everybody to come kind of to the middle of your living room. Oh, 6 feet.
Oh, sorry.
And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you two options. Something this or that, all right? And you are going to go to the right or your left, or left, your right. It doesn't matter, just go to one side or the other of your house, and let's see how many of you are similar in your family to the same thing, all right?
Okay.
So it's very, you start us off with one, this or that.
All right. Winter, summer.
Ooh, that's a good one. Wait, you're a winter person? You like the winter?
Winter,
Oh.
summer.
Sorry, I am a summer person.
Summer, yes. I
Yeah.
do not like to be cold. I
No,
don't like to be
that's
cold
a question
at
I want to
all.
ask God when we get to heaven. Actually, that's a Madison question. How are you
Why
great
is it
cold
cold?
weather?
Right.
But other people love cold
Some
weather.
people like snow and cold, and
Christian. I think Christian's a cold person.
that's possible.
All right, Christian, let me know. All right, I got one. Since we are quarantined, would you rather be quarantined in your home or back at school? I think I'd rather be at school.
Yes.
And as
Anywhere
much as-
other than quarantine.
Right? Yes.
Definitely.
All right. I don't know. Anyway, your turn.
How about pizza, chicken nuggets?
Oh yes, pizza.
Definitely pizza.
Hey, we are a lot alike.
Oh,
Man,
that's
who
interesting.
would
I
have
did
ever
not realize that.
All right, let's see here. What about this? This is probably a deal breaker for
Okay.
us. Cake, ice cream. Cake, ice cream. Ho-ho!
Definitely ice cream.
Definitely ice cream.
Definitely ice cream.
Funny story, when me and some friends went on a cruise in 2010, no, 2012. We went on a cruise, me and two of my friends, and they had all you can eat ice cream bar on the cruise.
Wow.
I went 32 times to the ice cream bar. 32 or 32, I don't know which way you can read it, but 32 times I had an ice cream cone in my hand because I got the ice cream cone. And a lot of times I had one in each hand.
And you still like ice cream.
And I still love ice cream, and I still look like this. So, all right, so, your turn. Ooh.
Did we do Mountains Beach?
No, we didn't.
Mountains, beach.
Ooh, oh!
We're finally different.
We are finally different. I enjoyed the beach. I do like the mountains, but I like the beach a little more.
I can
You don't like the sand?
I do not like the sand.
Is that what it is? The sand, yes. Okay, all right. All right, I got one.
Okay.
And just stay in the middle if you don't like either one. How about that?
Well, okay.
All right. Carolina Tar Heels or Duke Blue Devils? Yeah, that's right.
Tar Heels.
Tar Heels,
All the way.
all the way. Sorry, John Finnegar, if you're watching this. Wolfpack,
I'll put you in the middle.
we'll put you in the middle. But I mean, are they even relevant?
Not lately.
Oh. Well,
Although we weren't very relevant this year.
hey, there was no tournament. Our streak continues.
Okay.
All right, your turn.
Let's see. All right. How about Carowinds, Disney World?
Ooh, I've been to Disney World once. Okay, Disney World. I need to go back. Mom, can I go back soon? Or Madison? All right, let's see here. Oh, I got one. Very similar to yours. Amusement park, theme park, or a water park.
Ooh, that's tough. I think I'll do water.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Rats
see.
make me sick. I'll have to go to the water.
Higher, taller the better, faster the better. Like,
Uh,
I've actually went to on 2 road trips to go to amusement parks just to ride rides.
Can't do it
Cedar Point.
Can't do it anymore.
Cedar Point, Ohio, greatest amusement park in the world.
I have to remember that.
Yeah. All right. Your
All right,
turn.
let's see. Oh, here we go. Morning person, late night person.
Well, if you're both, or you can be both.
If you're both, then you must be tired. Morning person, late night person.
Well, I fall asleep too easy at night. But I like staying up like late too, though. But I'm also pretty good at getting up in the morning.
You're in the middle.
I'm in the middle. Depending on what time it is. All right. I've got one. All
All
right.
right, last one.
Last one. Here we go. It's probably the best one.
Oh, sure, I'm sure it is.
Pancakes or waffles?
Ooh. I gotta go pancakes.
I gotta go pancakes as well. I don't know, but waffles, the Waffle House at midnight are pretty good. Okay, pancakes. Pancakes. Team pancakes.
Team pancakes.
All right. Well, great, guys. I hope that maybe you and your family are more similar than you even thought. Or you find out that you're more opposite than you really like. All right. Well, I hope you had as much fun as we did. So let's go ahead and while you're standing, let's just go ahead and keep standing for some little worship.
Let's do it.
Who breaks the power of sin and darkness? Whose love is mighty and so much stronger? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder? Who leaves us breathless in awe and wonder? The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You laid down your life. That I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King of glory. Who rules the nations with truth and justice? Jesus shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Yeah, this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You laid down your life. That I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Worthy is the one we praise. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the one we praise. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the one we praise. Worthy, worthy. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You laid down your life. That I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. All that you've done for me. Yeah.
Hey guys, we're going to talk some more about humility. Hope you guys had a great Easter. Hope you got to watch Easter Jam and maybe show some humility by helping out your younger brothers and sisters, working together as a team with your family. Just hope you had a great time with that. We are going to do another lesson, continue to learn about humility, putting others first. But before we do, I found this amazing box. This is a box of amazing prizes. Now, I got this little chocolate bunny, and I like chocolate. It's milk chocolate. I like dark chocolate better. But I thought, well, maybe it's good, but maybe if I traded in the box of amazing prizes, I might get something better. So I'm going to put this in the box, and I'm going to trade and see what I get. What? A dirty sock with a hole in it? That was a horrible trade. It's hard to choose something worse when you already have something good. I liked that chocolate bunny. I would have eaten it. What am I going to do with this sock with a hole in it? Man, it's hard to get something worse when you think you already have something pretty good, right? Well, it's this way with a lot of things in life. Deep down, we know we should be putting others first, but sometimes when we put other people first, it feels like we're giving up something good, right? To get something that's not as good. If we're not first, that doesn't seem as good sometimes. Well, Paul was talking to some Christians living in a town called Philippi. And you see, we celebrated Easter last week. Jesus' life and death and resurrection had changed everything. And one of the things that it changed is how we view other people and how we treat them. And this was something Paul was trying to teach the Christians through a letter that lived in a town called Philippi. He encouraged them to be united, to put each other first and treat each other well. So I'm going to read Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Verse 3 is our verse this month, so I hope it sounds familiar to you. Don't do anything only to get ahead. Don't do it because you are proud. Instead, be humble. Value others more than yourselves. None of you should look out just for your own good. Each of you should also look out for the good of others. Paul was telling these followers of Jesus that there is a way that you can live to help get yourself ahead, be focused on yourself, or you can put others first and live like Jesus did for the good of others. Like I said before, we all know by this point that's what we should do. But it's really hard to do that sometimes. Well, Paul continued to tell them why they needed to put others first. In verses 5 through 8, still in Philippians chapter 2, he says, as you deal with one another, you should think and act like Jesus did. In his very nature, he was God. Jesus was equal with God, but Jesus didn't take advantage of that. Instead, he made himself nothing. He did this by taking on the nature of a servant. He was made just like human beings. He appeared as a man. He was humble and obeyed God completely. He did this even though it led to his death. Even worse, he died on a cross. So Paul is telling the Christians in Philippi, look, the reason, the why we put others first is because that's what Jesus did for us. He's our model. He's our example. And even up until the night before he died, Jesus was focused on others. At the Last Supper, he even washed the disciples' feet, which is the lowest of the lowest things he could have done in that day and time. So he is our model, even though he had a home in heaven with God. He chose to humble himself and come to earth as a man and live and die and be raised again. There are times when sometimes it feels like something is rightfully ours, that it should be ours, that we deserve it. And sometimes, even if it feels like we deserve it, it's better to put others first. In those moments, you have to remember, Jesus is our model. He's our motivation for what we're going to do. So I wanted to give you kind of a picture, an example to help you think about that. All right, I'm going to make a couple of recipes here. Being the fancy chef that I am, I have a package of brownie mix. So I'm going to open that up, dump that brownie mix right in my bowl. Some on the table. All right, and on my brownie mix, on the back, it has a recipe for me to follow, okay? So I am going to follow this recipe. It tells me I need a 1/3 cup of oil. So look, I have cooking oil. I measure out my 1/3 cup. Pour that in. All right. Now it tells me I need 2 tablespoons of water. I have a tablespoon. I brought just a little container of water. 1, 2, that in there. And it tells me I need 1 egg. Brought an egg. Put that right there in that bowl. All right, that's the ingredients I need. I'm gonna stir it up. Stir it up. Looking nice and chocolatey in there. Yum. Stir it up. All right, and we're gonna say I mixed it up, put it in the oven, and voila! A beautiful chocolate, yummy brownie. How about that? I followed the recipe that they gave me and got this delicious looking brownie. I happen to love brownies. I hope you do. But look how appetizing that looks. Beautiful, delicious. All right, now I want to show you, I thought I would just put together, a mix of my own. Who needs a recipe? I can make brownies. I can figure that stuff out on my own. So I've got some dirt. from my yard. It's brown, right? Looks like the brownie mix, right? Just good old dirt. It's nice and brown. So I thought that's good enough. Looks kind of the same. All right, and oil. Well, this is lemon oil that you use on furniture. That'll work just as well, right? Still oil is oil, right? All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in there. Pour that in. Dirt and lemon oil. All right, and let's see. I got some alcohol. It's clear like water, right? What difference does it make? Doesn't matter. Kind of the same. Some alcohol in there. And, you know, maybe I don't like eggs, but this container was yellow, like an egg. Who cares if it's sunscreen? It's sunscreen. So, but the container's yellow, like an egg. I'll put that in there. All right, yum! Dirt, lemon oil, alcohol, some sunscreen. I'll stir that up. Now, if I put that in the oven and baked it, is that something that you think would be as appetizing to eat? I hope you're saying no way. No way. Well, what our story is telling us today is, guys, Jesus, his life, is the model. It's the recipe for how we put others first. We need to put in things like humility, love, kindness, compassion, valuing and honoring others. And when we do that, then we make Jesus attractive to the world. People see him. They want to be like him. They want to know him because it comes out as something that is wonderful and good and attractive. Now, if I put in selfishness and hate and unkindness and indifference and demeaning and making fun of people, I don't get a beautiful model that anybody wants to be like. So what Paul is encouraging these Christians to do, follow the recipe of Jesus' life. Follow his model. Love, humility, honor, compassion. All of those things are what we saw in Jesus' life. And that allows us to show Jesus to others. If we show hate and selfishness and unkindness and things like that, people don't see Jesus and they don't want to know Jesus. So I encourage you this week, maybe think about with your family, what keeps you from putting others first? What are the challenges that you face when you have to give up what you want for what others want? It's not easy. It's really not. Even as grown-ups, it's not easy. But it's what Jesus wants us to do. All right, and before we go, my challenge, since I usually give you a challenge each week, my challenge this week is I want you to memorize a verse. Maybe the verse we've been doing about humility. Maybe a verse that has given you special comfort and peace. I've had to remind myself a lot during this time that we've been in quarantine that the Bible tells me he will keep in perfect peace the one whose mind stays on God, the one whose mind is kept on him. So I've had to remind myself of that one. So I challenge you to memorize a verse this week, video it. Ooh, if you're even more creative, like do motions to it, make up motions, memorize it, and send your videos. You can send it to my email at the church or Jason's email at the church, and perhaps we can feature you next week and see what you've done memorizing your verses. Guys, we love you. We miss you. Have a great week.